Hey there, I am John Harder, live streaming for tonight at 11 o'clock. I want to let you know up front, I am a TBC trusted seller, and if you if you have if you want to top up your TBC for the Cookie Rewards program, or if you have people you have referred who want to purchase TBC, I'll be happy to partner with you and get you set up with the coin you want. All right, so with that said, we have a few things we want to talk about tonight. And basically, what I want to do tonight is just talk about some of the things that were on the TBC blog. If you are in TBC and you are, if you keep yourself updated with the TBC blog, then maybe you will, some of the stuff that I will be talking about you will already know. But if you are not up to date, I'm not sharing everything here. It's a fairly long blog post, and so I'm going to just mention a few of the highlights from the blog post. To get all the details, you can just simply visit blog.thebillioncoin.info, and it was posted today, this post, so that would give you, then you know where you can go and find that post that I'm talking about. So we have a few updates. One of them is regarding the migration. The migration is just about completely ready to go, and so there. I'm not sure. It just I guess a few things. It has already been tested. The new blockchain in the wallet system. I've been told that it's well, it wasn't necessarily told me directly, but I heard from people who were in the some of the testers that it is very fast, very quickly, and it is still very scalable. So apparently, so we have a system that can really handle very many transactions, like a very high number of transactions per second. So that sounds very promising. And also in the post they were mentioning that we are in the distribution phase, especially for those of us who have wallets on, the wallets with the send button. I meant so that we can help people get set up with coin, or even partner with those who don't have buttons yet, and things like that. So and another thing that was also mentioned is the cookie sorry, how the new blockchain is going to be a little bit different. Well, I mean the not the blockchain, but the rewards for a new community member. Instead of receiving Kringles as we have been, like at first it was started out with 100,000 Kringles that a new member would receive, and and yeah, thank you, Pedro. I'm doing great. Uh, and so the new wallet, or uh, yes, those who get a new wallet on the new blockchain, when people sign up, they will, instead of receiving uh, 25,000 Kringles or whatever, it's going to be a certain amount of cookies instead. So I don't know what exactly the amount is going to be, or what what it will amount to, how many dollars worth, as it were. But it's going to be in cookies as opposed to um, Kringles, and it makes a lot of sense that they're doing that, because the way the old system worked was simply that when people who, let's say, you may have signed up, and and the system kind of got slow and stuff, and you just kind of abandoned your account or whatever, and didn't stick with it. You went on to do other things. Well, what happens then in the meantime uh, is that if that wallet never gets used, then those cookies, or those coins, they would end up being lost. They end up being orphaned coins that nobody can use. Whereas in the new blockchain, that system is going to work a little bit differently. Um, so if in that case, if somebody gets a wallet and they end up abandoning it and don't use it, there is no coins lost. There are actually no coins in it. They are cookies that could be redeemed for coins, yes, but there isn't actual coin in there. So that's the difference. It would be kind of equivalent to, let's say, well, actually, that hardly makes sense nowadays because money isn't backed by anything. But if it was the way it used to be, there would be gold that people would store in the bank. Uh, you know, People would store their gold at the bank where it was safely kept for them, and then they would get uh, a written note, or written notes as to, and then they could trade with the written notes, saying how much worth of gold you give for something, right? So the actual gold is at the bank in the vault, but your trading is on the notes. So if you lose the notes, it's not a very big deal because the gold is still in the bank. Whereas the monetary system we have now, if you lose a $20 bill, well, that $20 bill is gone. It's actually not worth anything to begin with, and so and it's funny you should say that, because we you go to the store and they do you know, they honor it for $20 worth of groceries or whatever. But when it's actually not worth anything, not only isn't it worth anything, there's debt on it. There's debt on it. There's literally debt owing on it. And well, that's the monetary system that we've been using for, you know, for hundreds of years now, or well, maybe not hundreds of years, because the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, at which time that all started with the debt-based system like that. So, but since then, it has really gotten well. It we've really ended up in a pretty tough situation for most people because of the bondage it has. We have allowed ourselves to be more and more bound by this debt-based system. And the thing is that most people, I don't believe, were aware of what was going on at all. And that was the whole idea. We weren't. It was basically supposed to happen without anybody really finding out what was going on. And it pretty much has done that, but people are waking up very fast. Many people are waking up now. Anyhow, back to the wallet, the way it works then is so that the coin isn't lost, only the cookies. So now, back to distributing the coin. For those of us who have send buttons, or even if you don't, doesn't mean you can't distribute, because you certainly can. You certainly can. And it is important that you do, for all of us, to spread the coin to as many people as possible, and and get people involved, get people thinking, talk to people, get people thinking about creating goods and services to and transact with TBC, with one another, if possible, without transacting with money. Because the more we do it with TBC, the more people will catch on and use actual money, as opposed to a worthless Federal Reserve note for trading. And besides, if we stopped using the monetary system, the less we use it, the more we have, the more freedom we will have. Um, Again, so one of the things with the new coins, the new blockchain, what else was I going to say about it? I forget now what it was I was going to say. It's so I'm looking at it right now. I wish I could just share it on the screen, but I don't know how to do it with this software that I'm using now. And so yeah, we're talking about migration here in the post. You're talking about migration, and it'll be done over a 90-day span. And so it's for those uh, who have coin, who got, especially, you know, you got the gift of 100,000 coins. That is literally worth like a $4,000 worth of TBC. It would now would be a very good idea to pay the $10 for the lifetime fee for the wallet, and then so that you can be migrated onto the new blockchain where you will receive the new coin then, because it's going to be a completely new coin. And the Kringles, uh, like I mentioned, that gift will actually go away, and it'll only be cookies now. So and it is 100 million cookies that 100 million cookies is worth 1/10 of a coin, of the billion coin. 100 million cookies would be worth 1/10. So it takes a billion cookies to be worth one TBC coin, right? So yeah, 100 million is 1/10 of a coin, 1/10 of a TBC coin right now, which is worth actually over $3 million. I didn't check today what the price is, but I know it's over 3 million. Also, what admin is saying is that there will be incentive. We will be well incentivized for okay, so it says here, first we offer 2 ways to gain access to the cookie rewards while we are in the billionaire zone of our leadership tree. We have been giving away 100 million cookies for every 100 Kringles purchased from a trusted seller. Also, we have a 1 billion cookie reward for every 100 recruits. Every 100 recruits a trusted seller brings into our TBC community. That the results have completed their Kringle Cash profiles. For a limited time only, we have expanded the program so that those that attend the send button meetings will receive 1 million cookies each time they attend. Starting on the day of the migration, new members will be rewarded with the equivalent of the 25,000 cookies just for joining for free. So that's what I was saying. I wasn't sure if the amount was going to remain the same or how that's going to work, but it's going to amount to the same thing. The gift will amount to the same amount as what the 25,000 Kringles was. Only now it's going to be in cookies instead, so that there's no coins lost or become orphans and become unusable because they can't be accessed if people abandon their wallet or for some reason just don't come back. So let's see what else was here. There was something more, I believe. Private messaging. Okay. So we're also urged to stop using or stop posting on Facebook. Stop posting on Facebook, which is actually something that I was doing with my, and not that I would go and post on Facebook other than the fact that my blog is hooked up to Facebook. So when I do a blog post, it would also show up on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and so on. I didn't take all of the social off where it posts, but I did take it off of Facebook, and that seems to be the one. I took Facebook off of it, Twitter as well. Those two seem to be the main ones, and other ones I don't know if they create any problems in that way. So I did leave some of them on, but I did take Twitter and Facebook off so that they will no longer be posting on there. And so then YouTube videos is what we're asked to do. We could do testimonial videos, and of course these Hangouts is another thing. Oh, that wasn't here. Here we are. Okay, so the early adopters will, of course, end up with a much higher percentage of cookies, which later are redeemed coin. Yes, yes. As I said earlier, um, that we, sorry, that those of us who stuck with it, who are sticking with it, we're patient, we're promoting TBC, we're getting the adoption, we're working on getting it adapted, and there's many areas in which we can work on this, talking to people, helping people, give creative ideas, do whatever we can ourselves to open up new doors. But let me just say this: the main thing is that we trust and believe um, that we believe it to be what it is, the billion coin, that it truly is such a wonderful uh, alternative to the monetary system that we have been using for so long, that has gotten us so deep into debt. And it's not really so much the monetary system itself as it is the people behind it. The people behind it, their plans are absolutely evil to even kill off most of humanity. I mean, what kind of bizarre, oh gosh, that's just such a horrible mindset. And but that is the kind of people we're up against. And if we don't help along and get people aware and to find ways, then oh, thank you. There's go ahead and type in some questions. If you have some questions, go ahead and type them into the question box, and I'll be happy to answer them for you if while I'm on. I'm actually going to be signing off in a few minutes, but for now I'd be happy to answer some questions for you if you have questions. So thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. So as I was saying, there are many ways in which we can improvise to use TBC more. And I believe we're going to see this happening very much in the, even towards the end of this year and the next year. I believe that TBC is going to become very widely adaptable, that you'll be able to buy goods and services in very many places. But you know what? It is up to us to make that happen, and we can do that. We can do that. All we have to do is just get it into as many hands as possible, and people get creative from there, right? So once a lot of people have it, then they can start trading, between each other. One of the ways would be online. Would be a good way to do it. Actually, there is a guy who did that. He had an online store, and he was using TBC, or taking TBC for payment, which then, of course, if people don't have TBC, well, then he can direct them to his referral link, and they can create a wallet that gets them some free coins, so they can pay him for the goods. It's a wonderful idea. It's a great way to you know uh, to uh, start, and he built up a real a lot of it. He got a great deal of TBC from that. And also, even yard sales. If you have a yard sale, and you have some items that are a little bit more expensive, well, request TBC for those. And then if people don't know what TBC is, or how do you get it, well, there you go. You can give them a free gift of TBC, so they can pay you for the item, and it doesn't actually cost them anything. Like, let's say the item is $20 or $50 or whatever. Well, it, they could pay you in TBC, and it would only cost them $10, because the $10 wallet fee, and then they can pay you with TBC, and that way you've got and then you can, of course, educate them, so they can about the cookie rewards, and they can they'll probably buy some from you. So um, um, all right, thank you, Pedro. I kind of figured that your name might be Pedro, and but there is also I'm not quite sure if I am pronouncing your name uh, does correctly, if I say uh, I don't know how you pronounce that name. Jules. Okay, so again, uh, let's really get TBC into as many hands as we possibly can. To That will help us regain our freedom. I'm a believer that every person should be wealthy. Every day should be a day of excitement and happiness. We should never have to worry about being poor, or about pleasing some boss that gives us all kinds of shitty jobs or whatever. I believe that we should all have plenty of money to get along, and to do whatever we want to do. That's my belief, and with TBC, we can certainly make that happen. So uh, again, I am a trusted seller of TBC. If you want to buy TBC, or you have referred people who would like to buy TBC, I'm also willing to partner with you, and to get help people top up their TBC. To qualify for the cookie rewards, which is coming up in May here. With that said, I am going to sign off And thank you so much for showing up.